attempted assassination of Donald Trump. This has opened up another chapter in America's history of political violence. It was a close call as the bullet grazed Trump's ear and narrowly missed his head. The gunman fired at Donald Trump from a mere distance of 150 meters. The shooter was on top of a roof overlooking the arena where the rally in Pennsylvania Butler was taking place. The FBI is the lead federal law enforcement agency which is investigating the matter at this point in time. The FBI stated that they are treating the incident as an assassination attempt. The FBI statement added that the incident is an active and ongoing probe. Pennsylvania police have said that there are no further threats following the shooting. The agency spokesperson, Anthony, has added that the suspect was shot dead at the scene by U.S. Secret Service officers. He has added that one bystander was killed in the shooting and 2 others were critically injured. Officials have revealed that all 3 victims have been male. The assassination attempt on Donald Trump has set alarm bells ringing through the country's security establishment. Let's in fact take a look at the whole incident of the attack.
Happened over.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Up. Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare.
Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
Shooter's down. Shooter's down.
Are we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move?
Shooter's down. We're good to move.
Clear.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Let's move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. Let's shoot down. Get the shield.
Watch out.
Wait.
All right, so there you witnessed the assassination bid against Donald Trump that took place this morning. I have with me on the broadcast Ambassador Achal Malhotra. Dr. Abhishek Srivastava is also with us on the broadcast, Dr. Manand Dwivedi, and I have with me Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goyal. Let me begin my conversation with Ambassador Achal Malhotra. Ambassador Malhotra, I want to understand from you, sir, when you saw some of the videos that have now been released of this assassination bid, what were your first thoughts? The fact that Donald Trump was, in fact, able to react and respond very quickly to what was happening around him. Of course, the Secret Service also very agile, but at the same time, he's emerged from the incident and he seems to be psychologically quite okay. You can hear him say, let me wait, hold on, let me wear my shoes. Then he takes a pause to look at the crowd and there's that fist pump which has now become the most iconic photograph of the day. What were your first thoughts, sir?
Well, when you see, when I first came across this report, a number of things, of course, crossed my mind. I was reminded of the earlier several numerous incidents which have happened in the United States of America, when the serving presidents were either assassinated or attempts were made on their life. Some survived, some died. And of course, I was also reminded of the January 20 incident when there was a mob violent attack on the White House after Trump lost the elections. So And third thing that immediately came to my mind was also the continued debate on the gun culture, the ease with which the guns are available in the United States of America, and there is an unending debate on, and neither of the two parties have actually been able to control it. Another thing, of course, that comes to your mind is the failure of the part of the intelligence agencies. Yes, you are referring to the how agile, I mean how swiftly Trump emerged out of it, and he did not seem to be baffled by this. Some cynics might even go to the extent of saying that probably he was aware of this attempt, and it was orchestrated kind of thing. Well, that would be far fetching, I think. And I think we should compliment Trump for putting up a brave face and his alertness of mind. Of course, I think the security guys were quite swift in, pushing him going down the counter. So on the whole, all these issues which come across your mind, that there is a culture of assassinations, there is a culture of violence. In whether in this particular case, it's a case of an individual, because he's a 20 years young boy, and since he's already no more, so it's very difficult to decipher his mind and to find out what was playing on his mind. Yes, of course, Pennsylvania is one state where Trump had lost last year. He had won earlier, I think. So this is also a state where the opinion is divided, and maybe there are people who are not uh, on the same page with Donald Trump on his policy approaches and the kind of
Right.
decisions he had taken in the past. So a number of things come across your mind, and then ultimately you end up thinking, the so-called the largest democracy and the oldest democracy in the world is also, not immune from violence when it comes to exercising democratic rights.
Right, absolutely. Master Suresh Kumar Goyal, bring you into the conversation as well. So I just want to understand from you, what were your first thoughts when you saw some of the videos that came out of the entire assassination attempt, and also the way Donald Trump emerged from it?
One or two things, Devika. It was, of course, a shock in a sense that even though there have been political assassinations before, but this is the first time when actually during a political rally, during an election rally, the former president and candidate for the next election has been shot at like this. So it was a shock. We all know that the number of gun-involved incidents are increasing. They're growing in numbers in the US, but this was completely unexpected, number one. Number two, it was strange. It was strange that basically because knowing the USA, the way it is and the way the secret services operate, I'm quite certain that there could have been a sanitization of the area, considering that the rally was being addressed by the former president, by a candidate, by a nominee to the Republican nominee to the election. So there would have been a sanitization of the area, and therefore, at least within the space of half a kilometer, they would have tried to see that no such element exists. So having a sniper just about 150-meter away, who is actually being photographed by somebody showing the face, was strange. And that he was shot within a minute, within moments of having shot President Trump. He himself is shot by the Secret Services. So clearly the Secret Services had been able to determine the direction from which the bullet came and where the sniper was, and he was neutralized. So it's strange. However, in terms of the overall perspective, the overall impact of the event, disruption of a political process like elections is bound to really leave a very, very, if not long-term, serious if a trail amongst the electorate, amongst the people at large, and even amongst the countries, really. So that is going to leave a big impact over here. Number two, the President Trump's bravado, raising the fist pump, etc., did leave an impact. I'm quite certain that it is going to increase his popularity even further, and he will benefit. The number of votes he gets will further benefit from this incident. President Biden, as it is, he was trailing former President Trump. So let us see what happens now. The interesting thing to really see would be how does the campaigning go after this? Whether both candidates, Biden and Trump, they resume their campaign. I think they were supposed to address another rally in a few days' time. Whether this will go on as usual, what happens, we will have to wait and see. But it does really turn the elections in the USA towards a very interesting phase.
Absolutely. At the same time, Dr. Abhishek Srivastav, a lot of questions also then being raised at the overall security arrangement at this political rally. Several people now raising the question as to why the Secret Service and other security agents did not engage with the shooter beforehand, because as per information online, the shooter was merely 150 meters away. That's really not a lot of distance.
Yes, certainly we all are very horrified by this Pennsylvania attack, and your question is pertinent that a Secret Service was aware about the shooters, the presence of shooter there, and they have not taken action before this incident happened. But in my view, we should not see this assassination attempt in the isolation. We have just remembered Shinzo Abe a few days back that in 2022 he was shot dead in a rally in Japan, and today is Trump. And we should think we are the group of intelligentsia, and we are in academics. We should think that what are the ecosystem who want to kill such democratic leaders or when democratic leaders are in with the people and they are in the rally, they are targeting. Same thing happened in Pakistan when Benazir Bhutto was in rally. So it will discourage the democratic practice and democratic leaders to go to their people. So secret services or any agencies who are responsible for the security of such democratic leader or such public figure, they should take cognizance of such presence with the gun of 20-year-old boy or whatever, whoever is there. Second point, I want to mention here the case of Israel and the case of America in the gun culture. We can see that every youth is trained with gun, and they are allowed to take gun in Israel, but there is no gun culture. There is no open gun fire in Israel, but what is happening in America? So we should also see the practice or this what you say this gap of training, gap of culture between Israel and America with the young boy with gun. So this is the second point. This is the third point, and the fourth point. We should what the lesson for India, that our prime minister is also very popular and our prime minister is also doing rally every day. So this is also lesson for our security agency to tighten security of our prime minister or our public leader, our leader of opposition, also and going and in many rallies. So this is lesson for India also to strengthen the security for our public figures. Yes.
Okay, all right. I want to bring in Dr. Manan Dwivedi into the conversation as well. Dr. Dwivedi, what are your first thoughts as far as this assassination bid is concerned, and also some of the questions that are now being raised online about the overall security at the rally site? The fact that, the United States of America is known to have the best security service, the Secret Service is supposed to be the best in the world. So a lot of questions are being raised as to how there was an active shooter just 150 meters away from where the rally was taking place. And despite that, there was no attempt to engage with him on a proactive basis.
First of all, thanks for having me here. It's completely shocking, and the news and the vid showing the blood-stained ear and mouth of former President Donald Trump and the presumptive candidate from the Republican Party is stunning, shocking, and it's very bewildering. We have been known to see through the cultural percepts and through the media and through the cinematic spectacles too, and through the general soft power approach that we see is has been the basic fundamental design of American foreign policy and American diplomacy. The big black car that one associates with the American president, though Trump is not a president, he's just a presumptive candidate of the Republican Party. But the kind of paraphernalia that normally is associated with the American security agencies. So this particular incident is very much belittling and very shocking and very stunning and benumbing, that a person who's trying to be the most powerful man in the entire ecosystem of the world countries, the global countries, that particular person nearly became a prey to a terrorist. Now, the person's name, which I have been researching and has been repeatedly relayed on the TV screens and on the website portals, happens to be that of Crooks, Thomas Crooks. His age is supposed to be 20 years, as if one hark backs to the data and the information which is gradually creeping in through the net and through the television. But I personally feel that there has been a tradition in United States of America where assassination attempts on wannabe presidents and actually the White House residents have been very common. For example, Teddy Roosevelt, that is Theodore Roosevelt in 1912, also went to Chicago to talk to a few people about his policies for the upcoming elections and polls, and he was shot at, but he escaped. During the World War II's heady days too, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he was also shot at. And who can actually forget the tragic event that led to the demise of John F. Kennedy in 1960s, which is known as the Dallas Depository shooting. So, there's a lot of hype in the third world countries, a lot of hype in the Asiatic Committee of States when one talks about the American security agencies. I personally feel that that person, Thomas Crooks, was registered as a Republican voter, and a member of the Republican Party. So this was one particular lacuna which allowed him to enter the near about space, near the lectern and the rostrum of the presumptive candidate Donald Trump. This is what I would like to say, but I would also like to enlarge upon it that this assassination attempt brings in a red face for President Joe Biden. Joe Biden is already facing a kind of a challenge on his age and his capacity to continue for 5 years in the position of the most powerful man in the world, in the international or the global polity. So this will be, and this can be, I'm just ending it, ma'am. This can serve as a kind of a sympathy factor for President Donald Trump, who already enjoys a lead of 4%, according to the Pew Research polls and in accordance with the Gallup polls, that he can talk about the polarization and the dirty game that the Democrats are playing with him. And he can the victimhood theology, the victimhood mentality can also be relayed in a great deal by Trump and Republican Party.
Right, absolutely.
And that can serve to strengthen the
Yes.
the future American
Yes.
the prospects
Okay,
of President
I
Donald
will,
Trump
yes, and
in
I
elect.
will come back to that in just a moment. Some more
Okay.
information is coming in. The FBI has named 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, as a suspected gunman behind the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. As investigators examine the events leading up to the attack, they are now seeking to understand the background motive and any connection that might explain the actions of this 20-year-old. The gunman did not have a criminal history reflected in Pennsylvania's public court records. Snipers neutralized Thomas Crooks after he fired from an elevated position outside the rally. Law enforcement officials have recovered an AR-15 type semi-automatic rifle near the body of Thomas Crooks. This assassination attempt shows the monumental failure of the security agency's core duties and raises questions on security lapses. A video has been posted on social media platforms which shows the body of a man wearing a grey camouflage lying motionless on the roof of a manufacturing plant just north of Butler grounds where the rally was taking place. I'm coming back to Ambassador Achal Malhotra. Ambassador Malhotra, taking forward the point that was raised by Dr. Manan Dwivedi, how do you view the impact that this event will have on the elections that are coming up? The Democrats already find themselves in troubled waters ever since several gaffes of Joe Biden have gone viral, not just in the United States of America, but across the world, of him not being able to remember names correctly, or the disaster, as people have termed it, that was the first US presidential election. That now followed by an assassination bid against Donald Trump, who seems to have responded in a rather swift manner and has come out of it unfazed. How do you view the impact on the elections? Do you think that there will be any? Because social media certainly is flooded now with a lot of backing for Donald Trump.
Well, I personally think there are still 3 months before the Americans will go to vote, and that's quite a big time. And political polarization in the United States of America has always been, crystal clear. Largely, they are divided between the Democrats and the Republicans. Some swing states have always mattered in determining the outcome, and also the way. I mean, the system, the presidential election system, is also somewhat very, strange in the sense that sometimes the way the results are counted. If you lose in one constituency, you don't get any points for that. So this whole thing is there. I don't think this incident will generate a lot of sympathy factor, but yes, there has been, there's a lot of this Joe Biden's health point of view. There are a lot of people. I'm sure they must be questioning the desirability of, sticking the Democrats sticking with Joe Biden, knowing fully well that his health is not 100%, and the kind of faux pas he makes. I believe the most recent goofa he did was introducing Zelensky, the Ukrainian Zelensky, as Putin. So these kind of things may weigh upon the electorate while they are going to vote, but at the same time. Trump also is known for his kind of uh, temperamental behavior and the kind of drastic decisions he took in the previous regime, previous tenure. So I think we'll have to wait. I won't say that this one incident will swing the votes in favor of Donald Trump. 3 months, memories are very short, and if at all, the continued reputation, the current reputation of President Joe Biden is ultimately going to be one of the major determining factors. Over to you.
Okay, all right. Let me give the last word to Ambassador Goel. Ambassador Goel, same question to you, sir. How do you view the impact of this event on the upcoming elections?
how it happens and how it goes. The point really here is that yes, one would think that in the short term there would be the benefit of sympathy factor for Trump, the way the fist pump you mentioned, the way he came out of the crowd, etc., etc. However, as the time goes by and people begin to talk about what actually happened and why the security services allowed somebody to shoot us, that person to be there who shot at President Trump, why was it not noticed before when? And in all these things, political issues, conspiracy theories, rumor mill, they become so strong, and eventually the whole thing gets muddled up. So I think we will have to wait and see that how it pans out and how the investigations go, which have become very difficult as it is after the sniper has been neutralized, and therefore the sources of information will need to be really marshaled very, very carefully. Therefore, difficult situation. Initial benefit of sympathy to Trump. Later on, as things begin to unravel and investigations, they come out with some kind of a situation we don't know.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.